Okay.
Sorry. Oh, I was like, oh, you too?
You okay there, Ryan?
So that's what she said to me, which is funny.
Tyler, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so for this lesson, so far we've learned 4 methods of proving triangles congruent. Let me see what you guys remember. Caleb, give me one method. Hey, let him answer.
I didn't say anything.
Give me one method that's not side.
Side angle.
Side angle, side. Tyler, what's another one? Angle, side, angle. Trista, what's our last one?
Wait, what did you say?
What? Give me. We've learned 4 methods, right? So hang on. Let's write it down. We learned side, side, side. We learned side, angle, side. Angle, side, angle. What's our last method?
Angle, side.
Angle, angle, side. Okay. We are going to learn a 5th one today. We're going to learn a 5th one. So, this is one we've kind of talked about before. We've talked about side, side, angle before. You guys have asked about it. So we're actually going to look at that today. So, we're going to look at side, side, angle. So I'm going to look at these 2 triangles here. I have 4 and 4. I have 5 and 5. Both those sides are congruent. I have an angle, and I've got an angle. So if I look through this, I know that BC is congruent to QR, right? Because they're both the same length. I know that CA is congruent to RP, because they're both the same length. And I know that angle A is congruent to angle P, because they both have the same degrees. Alright. So I did a side, and an angle, right? I've matched those up. Are these 2 triangles congruent?
Yeah.
Are they the same?
If you try hard enough.
So this is one of the few times we'll actually look at the picture. Are these 2 triangles the same when you look at them?
Yeah.
No. They're way different. The right one's bigger, this left one's way smaller. So these are not congruent. So we can only use side-side angle sometimes. Only on special triangles. So we can't use it on just any triangle. And the triangles we're going to be using on, everybody got this down first though? Anybody still writing it? Okay, give me a second. So we can only use these on special triangles. And we're also not going to call it side-side angle just because, well, I already made the joke, so.
What was the joke?
Side angle.
Yeah. We're not going to call it side-side angle.
I don't get it.
The other way.
Never mind. Just
Oh,
no.
yes.
No.
Hey.
Oh, get it.
Ryan,
At least I have notes to say. I'm good.
you're not helping yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Stop. We're giving you detention.
Guts. That's how I'm help. Okay.
It's like,
Alright,
okay.
you got this, Joseph?
Give me detention.
Okay.
Give me detention.
So, okay, I need your detention. That's fine. You stay after school.
Oh, wait, I can't have a bus.
Oh, you can come in and lunch then.
Alright, okay.
Alright, see you
That
lunch.
has to do.
So, if we're going to do side-side angle, it only works on right triangles. So remember, right triangles have a 90-degree angle, and that's what this box here in the corner means, just as a reminder. These boxes in our corner are 90 degrees. And we usually call them right triangles. But when we talk about side-side angle, we don't call it that, we call it HL. Usually HL theorem or just HL. So, to use HL, it stands for hypotenuse leg. Because if we're going to look at side-side angle or hypotenuse leg, we need 3 things. So, like before, we would say we have a side and then an angle and then a side. Or we'd have a side and then side and then side. For these, I need 3 things. I need to show that I have 2 right triangles. And then I need to show that I have equal hypotenuses. Because, have we talked about what a hypotenuse is?
No. Not really, no.
What about
Okay. And then, alright, so we need to show we have equal hypotenuses. A hypotenuse is the longest side.
Oh yeah, huh?
Hypotenuse is your longest side. We need to show the longest side is equal. And then the third thing we need is to show that one pair of legs are equal. A leg is just not the longest side. Hypotenuse is the longest, legs are just not the longest. So instead of doing a side, and an angle or something like that, we just need to show we have two right triangles. We need to show our hypotenuses are equal, and I need to show I have one pair of legs that are equal. And that's why it's called hypotenuse leg, because I need a hypotenuse and I need a leg. And you know what, I think I'm gonna, just to give myself a little bit more space, so I can write it big enough for you guys to see. Give me a second. I'm gonna just change this around so I get some more space. There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna make a 2-column proof of these two triangles right here. So you guys have space on your one slide that I don't have as much. So, and then I need 3 things. So first thing I need is I need to show that I have right triangles. So if I'm going to look at triangle PQR and triangle XYZ, this is kind of a boring proof, but it'll be a good example. I need to show that I have 2 right triangles. And that's pretty easy. All I really need to do is say triangle PQR and triangle XYZ are right. And then my reason, I could do a couple things. I could say because it's given, because I have the 2 little angle, 90-degree angle things there, or I can say because they have 90 degrees. So it's kind of either way, I'll take either one. So I'm just going to say given, because that's easier to write. So they are both right. Triangle PQR, triangle XYZ are right because it's given. I need to show that my hypotenuses are equal. So my hypotenuse, my longest side on this one is PR. It is congruent to my longest side, XZ. So I'm going to say PR is congruent to XZ. My reason, again, this is boring, so my reason is given. You taking notes, Quana? So I got PR and XZ. Those are my hypotenuses. So
Is your pad broken? Like your little.
it's out of batteries, yeah. So let me see. I showed that I had right triangles, and then this was my hypotenuse. And then for the last part, I need to show a leg. And for this one, I'm looking at the small leg. So PQ is a leg, XY is a leg, and they're congruent because they both have the 2 dashes. PQ is congruent to XY, and my reason is given. And this is my leg. So I have right, I have hypotenuse, and I have leg. These are a little different. And then the last thing, I need to write my congruency statement, and I'm going to go over here where I have space, and say triangle PQR is congruent to triangle XYZ by, my reason is called HL. If you say SSA, or flip it around, you will not get points. Because we're calling it HL for hypotenuse leg.
Wait, why would you get? But that's what it's called.
Yeah.
HL. Don't say SSA.
Why not?
Because that's not the actual name.
Yeah, it is.
You
No,
just said it was.
Yeah. Why is it
Yeah.
called side angle then?
it's not. It's called hypotenuse leg.
It says side angle.
Hypotenuse leg.
But then why did you side angle?
Just to illustrate how you guys talked about it before. So it's a third method. We use a side, and an angle, but we don't call it that.
It says right there.
Yeah, why not? Why don't you just call it hypotenuse leg then?
Everything's a lie.
Because it's easier to illustrate.
I lost my
Sure. So I'm okay with that.
No, I haven't.
This is.
Called HL. So don't try it, Trista.
What?
So help me.
Okay, I'm gonna forget
My
because
hair.
I know all those other ones are like
Mm.
That's
So-
side, side.
so you
Side,
can think of
side,
it-
angle.
But instead of writing it down, go, oh wait, HL.
Yeah, I'm not gonna remember that.
This guy's
Yeah,
really
because
good.
mathematicians don't
Good
like
thing to
that.
practice. Good thing we're gonna practice it a bunch now, because so help me will. All right. Is there anybody still working on this?
I might.
What the hell?
Well, it's too bad.
And Satan. What? Heaven? What is it?
You might. Are you working on it or not? Yes or no?
I might. He was
I don't know. You're messing with your hair now. It's weird. Okay. So we're gonna do kind of a real world example. So we got a picture of a basketball hoop here, and then the backboard brackets are shown. In here, angle ADC and angle BDC are right angles. AC is congruent to BC. I want to know, are ADC and BDC congruent?
Yes.
So let's go through and look at these.
Yes, they are, 'cause technically it's
So,
the same
I have 90-degree angles. I had ADC is 90. BDC is 90. I'll just make those how much go up. I have two 90-degree angles. For hypotenuse leg, if you ever see a 90-degree angle, think hypotenuse leg. It might be something else, but it's most likely HL. So, because I have two 90s, I'm going to check out my hypotenuses, longest sides. And my longest sides are congruent. I got side, side. I just need one set of legs now, one set of the smaller sides to be congruent.
You really should use a different color. It's kind of hard to see.
Well, how about now?
Yeah, it's better.
I mean, it could be
Nerds.
better, but
Okay, so I got my hypotenuses, I got a 90-degree, and then I just need to check out a leg. I don't know anything about like AD or BD, but I do know DC is exactly the same line, right?
yeah.
So that is my leg. DC, they share that one. So, if I'm going to make my two-column proof, make my column here, sorry, I forgot to give you guys one. So, I'm going to say, then I'll make it a little bit easier. You can just say, both triangles are right. So, for the hypotenuse leg, I'll let you say both triangles are right, and then our raison on this is just given.
I breathe 4 different times.
And then we gotta keep going through. Chloe, what am I gonna show next?
That BC and AC are congruent because we do.
So those are my hypotenuses. So BC is congruent to AC, because it's given. And then my last thing, I need to show one last piece. Kylie, what's my last piece?
I guess I don't know when ABD is
What? Do we know anything about these?
Oh no, it'd be CD.
It's congruent to,
CD.
because, not quite.
Very same line.
They're the same line. I got your earbud. Alright, then my leg, I'm going to say DC is congruent to DC because it is the same line. Alright, I think, if I remember right, you guys are doing one next, but I'll wait. Is there anybody still copying this?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I'll give you time. I'll give you time.
Don't change it.
I won't. I'm gonna find look your most real quick for a second first. Let's see what we're doing.
Alright, I will.
If you have already have this down, you can actually skip ahead. We're going to skip the next problem because I think you guys are doing okay. We're going to go to that first A-class problem on the top right on the back side. So if you want to skip ahead, you can. Hey.
I'm just checking.
So you can skip ahead if you want and go to that next problem. I'll be on this for a little bit though, just to make sure everybody gets it down.
Oh shoot, I made my 2 column for 3 column. I don't know that.
So you can start on that first in-class problem if you're done already.
Oh, are we skipping the other one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright.
Wait.
That's Okay, where are your hypotenuse? What's the longest side? Alright,
Well, it-
so let's look at this one. Which of these three sides is the longest?
Same line.
Okay. Is it congruent to the side that belongs over here? Are they congruent? Okay, bye. Okay, so let's write H right there. Okay, what else?
Yes.
What else we got?
Yes, Martin.
So we have it?
Oh, yeah,
So we gotta say that in there. So we have to say both triangles are right because it's given. So just cross out that first part. Put that in. We have to literally say both triangles are right. Anybody still working on this?
Same line, same name.
You got this down, Ryan?
Yeah, I got it down.
Alright, so we are skipping this one, and we are looking at this one. So on your own, work on a 2-column proof. Then you guys are going to help me out. So remember, you are looking at HL, so we need 3 things. We need to show we have right triangles, we need to show hypotenuses are equal, and we need to show we have legs. One pair of legs is equal.
Water.
Hey, Mr. Wilkie, could you come look around and see if it's right?
Look at the music.
Mr. Wilkie.
Hang on.
Like this.
Okay, so right triangle, yeah.
What do we need for HL? We need hypotenuse and we need leg, right?
Yeah.
So you got your leg, PR, PR. Where's your hypotenuse?
Oh, shoot on.
Okay, but I wanted to give yours or that.
We don't need
Really?
You don't need this.
Is mine right?
This is wrong.
Can you look?
No, it's left.
Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Like that big?
Yeah, I don't need them.
Yeah. And then,
Kills
Keep
me.
S
You
and
are
keep R.
triangle there. Yep, that's good. Don't forget though for the sides, put the little lines on top.
okay.
You sassing me?
Nope.
Put this.
I'll give you another minute or so to work on this one.
Where's my pin?
Okay.
Marking's help.
Okay, so these 2 column proof things are what we've been working on. So these are ways to show the triangles are congruent. So we're doing HL on these. So we need to show 3 things. We need to show that we have both triangles at right angles, right? So I got 90, 90 for both right. So I'm just gonna say both triangles are right. because it's given. Remember, first column is like my statement, second column is my reason. Okay? Yeah. We're gonna go with this one first. Actually, you wanna go up and do this now?
Okay, that'd be, it's kind of weird.
Then hand it off. So we're gonna start going over this one. So we're gonna have a few people go up there.
What I start with.
So we're gonna have a few people go up and work on this. So check your answers as they're working.
Why is this? I don't think myself.
What was the other thing we needed to show? What that H stand for?
Hypotenuse.
So hypotenuse is the longest side, right? So this is my longest side. This is my longest side. Are they equal? Yeah. Because they have a line there, right? So we're gonna say yes.
Hey!
Alright, hand it off to somebody, Tristan. Lunch.
9 one you said.
My reason is because it's given, because it
Whoa.
literally has the information given on top.
Good defense. One of the best
Mr.
offense.
Gold, yeah.
When
It's
the defense
weird.
good, we sit
Uh-huh.
hard.
Yeah, I know
It's not,
I
it's
don't
not
like it either.
calibrated. Just do your best. And then a leg is just like this
You're
one.
always showing me.
So
You
one
are
weird
weird, you
thing
don't
about
have
like
to for it.
this one and this one, the only lengths about them.
Sometimes we think you can win.
We know we got the 90 angles here. We don't have
Or break the wall.
We got any lines in the numbers now. Alright, Chloe, hand it off to somebody else. I'll let you choose.
Oh, this is the H.
So let's look at, we'll share this line in here in the middle, right? So if I'm looking at left side, doesn't PR equal PR on the right side? So it's literally the same line. So I'm gonna say PR is congruent to PR because it's gonna be the same line.
Oh, I don't like this.
And my reason is because it's the same line.
You have to write the SRP.
Oh, my God, my teacher. I can finish that in this class.
The SPR or SRP
Put them in.
are given, but they're also
You
given. So you
best
have to
figure out
write
your
them
SPR.
in
I'll do it like I said. These will do it.
You know, I think I did my homework at lunch detention. Yeah, I could do that at lunch detention.
Alright, so we're doing this one on the board here. We have
I couldn't write.
PS equals RQ because they're given. PR equals PR because they're the same line. Then angle SRP is congruent to angle QPR. And the reason would be given. And I would take this, but you don't even need to go into this much work. You can just say they're both right because it's given. They're both right triangles because it's given. So I'll take it. I'll take it. But you did more work than you needed to. Oh wow. Alright, not bad though. And then don't forget, oh, and I think I even forgot to do this on my last one. We have to write our congruency statement at the very end here. So I have to say triangle PRQ is congruent to triangle RPQ. Nope. I went backwards. Oh well. Triangle PRQ is congruent to triangle RPS by HL. Don't forget, I always forget to put this last part on, but we need this last part, kind of our final congruency statement, just to show that we're right. Alright. Not bad. So, that is it. If you haven't yet, start on your exit ticket. I will turn on Socrative in just a second. And then you guys can start on your homework.